All right, are we good? Are we still good? Everything's straight? I just want to make sure before we get started. Now, you guys know how this tends to go. My Hero Academia reactions and reviews tend to go shorter than my One Piece reactions. Let me actually get myself into view here so we can begin. But we're not going to be long here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go through this chapter, we're going to talk about it, and I'm not going to monologue as much as I did in my previous One Piece reaction earlier this morning. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So, last we left off with My Hero Academia, it pretty much had the entire Todoroki family coming to terms that a whole bunch of stuff was going on with their family. From Toya's upbringing to his eventual descent into villainry, just so much cause, so much turmoil with this family. And they all resolved that you're not going to be the one who's going to stop Toya. It's going to be Shoto. But we're going to make sure that you don't feel this pain alone. It was really a chapter. The last chapter was really a chapter with the Todoroki actually finally still catching up on the rest of the series. Then don't watch, Macy. Do not watch this because I'm going into some, this is a spoiler heavy reaction. If you are still catching up to this series, don't do yourself a disservice by just watching me. Read through it, then come back once this is, because I don't know how far you are in there. But if you say you're still catching up, then what I'm going to be talking about, especially with this newest chapter, is going to be spoiling a lot for you. So please, don't let me be the one to ruin that moment for you. Please, please, Darcy. Just go ahead and go read it on your own time. Don't listen to me and read it at the same time, because then I'm going to be talking about stuff you haven't gotten to yet. Please, just go and read it, and then come back. Read, catch up, and then come back. I'll be right here. Well, this video will. Just don't do that to yourself. You deserve to read through every chapter up until 303. Just trust me on this, please. Just trust me on this. All right, Macy, go enjoy yourself. But in the last chapter, the Todoroki family pretty much came terms with what's going on with Toya, and now they're pulling together in order to resolve this as a family. Since Rei saw herself as a problem with it, because she ignored the things that were going on with Toya, Endeavor most definitely saw himself with it, and Natsuo, Fuyumi, and Shoto were just thrown in the middle. So going on to the next chapter, chapter 303, top 3. And then we have Hawks, and we also have Best Jeanist walking in on the family as they're all around, Endeavor, still in bed. Pardon us. Now remember, Hawks can't fully talk yet, so he has to talk through the text-to-speech on his phone. So it's probably a Siri voice that says, like, pardon us, but I'm not going to say it like that. Pardon us. We couldn't help but overhear. May we accompany you on your proposed family outing? Best Jeanist, Hawks. Both Rei and Endeavor are surprised to see them. Since I was discharged yesterday, I've been running around gathering intel. And then Rei immediately bows before Hawks and says, I'm terribly sorry for what our son did to you. Because remember, Toya was the one who pretty much put Hawks in the same medical condition he's in right now. No, I ain't here to give you grief about that. No need to apologize, ma'am. And he has to say all this extremely fast on his text-to-speech. I bet he would give my sisters a run for their money when it comes to texting speed. That is, when they don't have those ridiculously long nails on. Yes, I'm throwing shade at they nails. Ridiculously long, sharp nails are ridiculous. Fight me. But then he says, we are only here to inquire about Dabi, but eavesdropping feels rather criminal, like illegal denim. Oh, wait, this is Best Jeanist saying this. We are only here to inquire about Dabi, but eavesdropping feels rather criminal, like illegal denim. What's illegal denim? The root cause of your son's grudge could provide a lead in this investigation. We can ask him directly after how he survived the blaze and transformed completely into Dabi. And then Hawk says, I used to watch old videos of you, Endeavor, so to hear how that obsession from your younger days grew into all of this was quite shocking. And of course, Endeavor doesn't say anything because it's a whole bunch to him. Just a whole bunch being dumped on him right now. Emotional distress, physical distress, a lot. And Hawks continues to say as he leans up on Shoto, now, this doesn't come up in your discussion about Toya, but Shoto's burn here. Was that also you, Endeavor? Personal space. And mind you, Shoto still has a little bit of difficulty voicing himself because his throat got burned by Toya earlier. But Ray chimes in and says, that was me. And then Shoto looks at him, trying to say mom, but he can't, and then he looks away. Despite having every right to resent me, he started calling me mom. Despite having every right to resent me, he started calling me mom again. I see. And then he's thinking back to his dad and his mom. Hawks is thinking back to his own childhood with his dad and his mom and the horrible childhood that he had growing up. Thought I saw something crawling on my wall. Ain't nothing there. And he's thinking back, saying, I never really got to face my folks like that. And then Shoto's staring at him bug-eyed, still thinking, still too close, like personal space, dude. I gave up on them, moved on, and left them behind. And then he texts his speeches to Shoto saying, Shoto, you're a class act. And then Shoto doesn't know what he means by that. Then Hawks continues by saying, Endeavor, it's hell out there, you know. And then Endeavor says, I know. Shigaraki, Dabi, Himiko Toga, Spinner, Skeptic, plus 132 of the Liberation Front members who escaped, and 7 near high-end Nomu are all on the loose. Furthermore, Shigaraki and the Nomu smashed up Tartarus and 6 other prisons, freeing over 10,000 convicts. With the core members of the Heroes Public Safety Commission dead or in the hospital, they've lost the power to organize heroes. The heroes are literally in dire straits right now. And many heroes have chosen to retire, spurred on by this nasty climate. Hey Karma, welcome back. Villains are more daring than ever, and the citizens who've lost faith in heroes are taking up arms, but by fighting back themselves, they're only wreaking more damage and destruction. Our government has put in requests for relief workers and heroes from all over from around the world. Not just Japan, but heroes from around the world. Are we going to be seeing some American heroes pop up? Don't know. But with the safety commission essentially shut down, the paperwork needed to dispatch heroes isn't getting done. Well, looks like so much for that idea. They put in requests for them, but paperwork ain't getting sent out in order to allow this. And Endeavor is silent through all this news that Hawks is telling him. All of that in just the past 2 days. All of this happened. Just as your wife said, your only option is to fight on. But we will too. The responsibility isn't yours alone, number one. And we can't have your family shouldering the entire burden. And then Endeavor says, But why would you? Even if what Dabi says about the Todoroki family is true, I know things are different now. And I'm going to lend my full support to anyone trying to be better. On that note, I'm proposing a team-up of the top 3 heroes. And then Best Jeanist chimes in, I've put my life in Hawk's hands from the start, and I'm accustomed to walking down hellish catways such as this. Now that we and your family have lightened your load, do you think you can stand up and move forward? Yes, Endeavor says with tears in his eyes, and everyone else just solemnly and not begrudgingly, but they all just silently just stand there, I want to say in agreement. Then Natsuo says, this doesn't surprise me. Natsuo still ain't over his dad. This is only until we stop Toya, got it? And then Endeavor just says, yes, still teary-eyed. Sorry if I'm seeming pushy, but first it's your duty to provide the people with an explanation. Now that Dabi's accusation is public, there's no avoiding it. I've already thought up a statement more or less, but there's one point I'm still fuzzy on. One for all. What is it exactly? That's not something you can ask Endeavor. You're gonna have to ask All Might about that. And then Fuyumi remembers. That reminds me. And there's a whole bunch of news crews here and everywhere. And I guess this is when Fuyumi and Natsuo had to actually sneak in order to get into the hospital in order to get to Endeavor. They had to sneak past these reporters. I guess the only people entering Central Hospital right now are connected to the heroes inside. While facing off with Shigaraki, Endeavor muttered a mysterious phrase. What does one for all mean? Oh no! Now the reporters wants to know what one for all is. This was supposed to be a secret power between the users of One for All. And now the reporters wants to know. Because now they're trying to see a connection between it. What does One for All mean? Is it somehow related to the supervillain known as All for One? Let's get in there quickly. This is a flashback to when Fuyumi and Natsuo try to get inside the hospital. One for all. Right now, we need to know what that means. Attention all, Endeavor here. I've engaged Shigaraki. Okay, this is a flashback. Attention all, Endeavor here. I've engaged Shigaraki at the hospital ruins. One for all. One for all. And this is a flashback to what he was saying. Sorry for using the private frequency, but there's a chance that Shigaraki is after me specifically. Oh, this is when Midoriya chimed in. Deku? Dang it, friggin' Deku! And here we cut to Bakugo screaming so hard he literally has blood splurting out of his mouth because he's not fully healed. Dang it, friggin' Deku! Why'd you get to snooze when I'm awake? A little hard to... And then Sato's holding him. Like, Mineta's holding him. Sato's holding him. They got this boy tied up. A little hard to grieve properly when this guy's up and about. And of course, Asui Tsuyu has him bound up in her tongue while Sato and Mineta have him held down and carrying him away from Uraraka and everyone else. Little hard to grieve properly when this guy's up and about. At last, some relief. Thank you for handling him, Tsuyu. And then we have Ida and we have Uraraka there. I feared for the worst when I saw those wounds, but he's noisier than ever, huh? And then we have Jiro there. Hey, Prez, they're saying Tokoyami and Kaminari are cleared for release. His body's okay, at least, right? And then Uraraka says, that's what they say. And then it shows Uraraka saying, I'm worried. And then it has people moving out of the way because then Ida says, what's up? Great explosion, murder god Dynamite. You're all right. Do I look all right to you? We'd like to speak with Izuku Midoriya. Yo, Hawks and Best Jeanist are already there. Actually, All Might asks to be alone with him for now. And All Might is in there. All Might, you say? And then it shows All Might is in the room, still in the room with him, saying, I feel it. The version of me dwelling inside the boy. Inside One for All. Right now, you must be talking with the predecessors. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew Midoriya. I knew that Midoriya being in this coma would be the perfect opportunity for him to actually, finally, metaphorically, sit down and speak to the previous users of One for All. But I feel like the secret of One for All, I feel like it's getting... Do they actually not know One for All? I thought it was common knowledge. I mean, I don't think they know that One for All can be passed on from one person to another. Because remember, way back when, people were trying their best to figure out what type of power All Might had. that made him so powerful. And there were speculations like this was even in the very first couple of chapters of My Hero Academia, and in the first episode, I believe, people were trying their best to figure out what type of power it is, but I don't think people actually know. Like, I'm looking here, like, we know the known users and its usages, but people do not know what his power is. Now it just begs the question, okay, as the truth behind, here it is right here in the trivia sections for One for All itself. It is unknown. Okay, as the truth behind One for All is only known to a select few, Izuku's quirk is listed as superpower in UA and other records. Izuku states that One for All is one of the 7 great mysteries of the world. The other 6 great mysteries are unknown. So, no one really truly knows what One for All is. Only a select few of people know what One for All actually is. But since Endeavor decided to not put it on a private frequency and blast it to everyone, he pretty much let it slip that now reporters are trying to question the connection between One for All and All for One. Because, I mean, it's kind of weird how no one ever thought to ask that question when, well, actually, no one knew what One for All actually was. They just thought, they did not have a name. The public didn't have a name for All Might's power. They just thought it was just super strength and super speed. He was just a super all over being. But they did not have a name to peg for his quirk. So for all intents and purposes, the public has no knowledge of what One for All actually is. But since the name has been dropped, and it's out there, and reporters want to know, and Hawks wants to know, and Best Jeanist wants to know, now people want to know what One for All is. And Hawks and Best Jeanist are literally making their way to Midoriya to figure out what it is. And I feel like if they can't get it out of Midoriya, then they could possibly try and get the information from All Might. But that's only if All Might sees them worthy of telling the truth too. I mean, people want to find out what One for All is, but if people find out what One for All is, and they also try to find out if it's in Midoriya or not, that's just gonna cause things to escalate exponentially. So I feel like even if Hawks and Best Jeanist find out what One for All truly is, I don't think they're gonna publicly give it to people and tell people what it is. Because that power is a dangerous power for people to know. And if they find out, and if people in the public finds out just what One for All actually is and the type of power it is, it would just paint a bigger target on Midoriya's back. So I feel like even if Best Jeanist and Hawks find out what it is, they're probably not going to say anything to the public because that's like Superman's Fortress of Solitude location top level secret. So that I highly doubt that even if the public gets told what it is, it's not going to be the full truth or anything worth noting that could, in the future be used against the heroes. So that's my feelings on it. But it does go with my theory that Midoriya is in a coma where he's gonna be able to talk to the predecessors now. So does that mean we're gonna be seeing new users of One for All? Because we've already seen, if I go up here, so that way I can actually get the names of the users. So we have All for One's younger brother, the second user, who's unknown, the third user, who's unknown, the fourth user, who's unknown. We have Daigoro Banjo, who is the user of the Black Whip quirk. Then we have an unknown sixth user, who's there before Nana Shimura, obviously, and she has the float quirk. Then we have Toshinori Yagi, also known as All Might, who was born quirkless. So we already know about those named individuals, but currently, All for One's younger brother, we don't know him. except that he's the one who started it all. Unknown second, third, fourth, and sixth user. Those are the ones that we have yet to actually get formally introduced to. But it says here that the fourth user, his proficiency with One For All is unknown, though he has likely used it in connection with his given quirk, Danger Sense. Because Midoriya started to get a semblance of this Danger Sense quirk at some point during his fight with Shigaraki. But who knows if they're actually going to be revealed in the next set of chapters. So Deku gets these quirks randomly. I always thought it was from last to first. Well, he got the superpowers from... yeah, it is random which power he gets, because Nana Shimura was directly after All Might. But Midoriya unlocked Nana Shimura's float quirk after Daigoro's Black Whip. And his is after the 6th user. So that's literally 2 users that Midoriya skipped over to get a quirk from. And then he skipped forward past the 6th user to Nana Shimura's to get access to her quirk. Then he skipped all the way back past Daigoro to the 4th user and is now starting to get his Danger Sense quirk. So it is completely random Midoriya getting all these powers. They're not going in order. They're just jumping from one user to the next with absolutely no rhyme or reason or direction. But I feel that with Midoriya talking with the predecessors in the middle of his coma, it gives him the perfect opportunity to fully understand what One For All is, how it all started. Possibly we could get a flashback to how it got started that way, aside from, the usual story that we already know, but also the other users as well. So that's going to be an interesting conversation coming up. But that's only if we focus completely on Midoriya in his comatose state, speaking to the previous users of One For All. And when he wakes up, I have no idea how things are going to turn out for him. If people want to try to find out what One For All truly is, and with the public want to know what One For All is, it is just going to invite... I feel like it's just going to complicate things. Because One For All is a very serious quirk. And if it were to get into the wrong hands, then there would be no one to stop it. So now, it's like, just how many more heroes are going to find out what One For All is? It's only going to paint more targets on more people's backs if they know. I don't know. But overall, I did enjoy this chapter. I gave it a good solid 8 out of 10. It didn't get me out of my chair. It was just bringing up the last half of the Todoroki reconciliation moment, though Natsuo is still salty, and he's saying that he's only working with the family and helping out right now until they've handled things with Toya, and that's where it stops. Because, he still can't get over anything whatsoever. At this point, I don't care if Natsuo gets over it or not. I'm done trying to put it in my head that this guy could just inevitably see his dad as a good man trying to solve problems that he himself caused. But I'm not going to go through that, because it's just going to be a waste of my time hoping that Natsuo will just see that it's not going to make things better if you walk around your house acting stank 100% of the time around your own parents. So I can't say that until I actually see that the Todoroki family actually gets to a state where everyone is comfortable, and hopefully at some point Natsuo can, lighten up, maybe. But who knows, he might just stay that way. I don't know, don't care. But overall, I enjoyed this chapter, and that's all I got for you guys today. I told you it wasn't going to be long as my One Piece reaction, but I am looking forward to the next thing I upload to you guys, which will be a One Piece reaction, One Piece episode reaction, but that's going to be after I eat. My family brought food for me. And then tomorrow is when we start the Demon Slayer series, because I've been looking forward to it, and I can't wait to read it. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you, everyone. Whether you're only here for my One Piece reactions, my Hero Academia reactions, or my Solo Leveling reactions, or anything else that I do, I just want to say thank you for helping Natsuo has every right to be mad. I would be too. That's why I said I'm not trying to put it in anyone's head that, oh, maybe he'll lighten up later in the future. I'm just gonna let Natsuo be Natsuo. Hey, Endeavor did this. It's his fault. It's his fault his children treat him the way they do, especially Natsuo. It's his fault. But I just want to say thank you everyone for sticking with this channel for as long as I've been doing it. And I just want to say I am truly thankful to be an entertainer that you guys all enjoy. And the support that you show for this channel, just any bit of support, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a like, comment, or for some of you people over in Super Chat sometimes, I just want to say thank you for the support you show to this channel, because it always encourages me to do even more for you guys and bring you more content that you guys want to see. It is an honor and a privilege to be a YouTuber and your entertainer. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.